Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. We should be live. We're going to discuss the Brentford versus Liverpool game. Bear with me. I'm just checking a few things, and then we'll get underway. Bear with me. Yeah, I'll be with you. 1 second. Yeah, so let's discuss. Let's get onto it, and of course, Arne Slot's had his press conference. We've seen what is happening with the team, and yeah, I'm going to get into that in just a second. Bear with me. I'm just sorting one or two things out. So let's get to that, and we are ready. So. We've got live win probabilities. We've got the Opta things. We've got the stats, everything that we need for the game. Of course, Liverpool, top of the league. We know that. They're top of the Champions League. We know that. Not top of the transfer window for sure. It's been one of them windows that has been really just not amazing. To be real, we've had a poor window because we haven't done anything, and of course, the contract situation is again something that hasn't helped in the last few weeks. I don't think. I feel that the last few weeks there's been a little bit of a decline in performances, a little bit of I don't know, almost a distraction for the players going forward. As it stands on the live probability, we have a win percentage chance of 63% for Liverpool at the Gtech Community Stadium, 16.7% for Brentford, and a 19.9% for a draw. Obviously, we look at the injury list. We know that obviously Joe Gomez is out. We now know Diego Jota is set to miss as well. Again, another line at the moment seems to be struggling. 1 minute we had 6 options. Now all of a sudden there's been a bit of struggling within that. I do feel that when Salah's not on form, which the last couple of games he's been a bit, half and half. He's not been amazing like he has been the whole season so far. But what I do notice is when he doesn't perform, there's no one really to step in. Like, there just isn't. Just as Diego Jota scored that goal against Nottingham Forest, from that Simicast corner within 22 seconds of the substitutes, which was incredible, by the way. He's then out injured again. The man, I don't know if he's made out of cotton wool or what, but he seems to get injured a lot. There seems to be a lot of injuries occurring at the moment. We've got most of them back. Then it's probably going to cycle round again, and there'll be more injuries, etc. And squad depth is a major issue, I think, especially for a number 9. I think obviously you've got Darwin Núñez. He'll be back this weekend. Will he start? Won't he start? I'm not sure. I probably see him starting, maybe. It'll be him or Diaz up front. Diaz is just not a striker. He's just not. He's great on the left. He's just not a striker. When he does start with Gakpo. Gakpo normally starts on the left, Diaz up top, then Salah on the right. Normally Diaz and Gakpo, they switch roles consistently through the game. But again, I feel that Liverpool are missing a proper number 9, and I think, you look at the title rivals, for instance, Arsenal, they're missing a proper number 9 as well. So, but they are actively, I believe, trying to sort that out. They went for Sesko, expected he stays now in January at Leipzig. But it just shows their intent on signing a striker, whereas Liverpool have not done anything, especially when it comes to centre-backs, especially that end of the pitch. Konate was rushed back. He isn't fully fit, let's be real. Kwanzaa is just underperforming most of the times he's playing now. Rumours of Arne Slot that he's not that keen on Kwanzaa. You've got Van Dijk. I think keeping Van Dijk is huge. I think if he was to get injured, big trouble. Big trouble. And I don't think Alisson as well. Alisson, of course, is back, but he hasn't been at his best, if I'm honest. You know, 1 win in the last 4 games. We drew with Manchester United, of course, then lost against Spurs, beat Accrington Stanley, and drew against Nottingham Forest. If we just look at the Premier League games, we were on a roll. We beat Tottenham 6-3 in that absolute thriller. We beat Leicester 3-1. We beat West Ham 5-0. Then we had a sloppy draw against Man United, a sloppy draw against Nottingham Forest. And the next game, you know, Brentford's going to be a tough one because away against Brentford's never easy. It doesn't matter who you are. It's a tough game. You know, they played, I think it was Manchester City in midweek, and they got a good result in that one, you know, and a 2-2 result. Of course, they did score. They were 2-0 down with 12 minutes to go, and they managed to pull it back to 2-2, and that was at home as well. Arsenal, of course, did defeat them. Plymouth defeated them in the FA Cup, and Nottingham Forest did defeat them as well. So, you know, but then you look at Newcastle. Newcastle, the last 4 games, for instance, they've had Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal and Manchester City. All big teams, to be fair. And the next couple of big games they've got as well, they've got Liverpool, of course. Then they've got Spurs, they've got Everton, they've got Villa, they've got Chelsea, all at home. You look at Liverpool, they're in a home record. Of course, we had 2 draws in the last 3 against Fulham and Manchester United. The home games look winnable. To be honest with you, the away games are the ones that look a bit tricky for Liverpool. They've got Brentford away, Bournemouth away, then, of course, that rearranged fixture against Everton, away against Man City and away against Villa. While the home games are at home against Ipswich, Wolves, Newcastle, Southampton, and then Everton in April. So, you know, it's one of them things, but should we be worried about the form? You know, the little dip we've had potentially. I think you again look at how it is. Look at the team. Look at the injuries. You know, there has been times where, you know, I feel that we've played some amazing football. You know, Forest, to be honest, we was unlucky. I think in the end, not to get a result from that. I'll be honest. It was attack after attack after attack in that game, but yeah, it's just one of those things, and you know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because we look at the situations. A lot of people are talking about, of course, January transfer activity, the contract situation. People are discussing the contract situation. Is it affecting the players? I would say yes. For me, I would say yes, because at the end of the day, if you want to stay at the club, you're Salah or Van Dijk, who's publicly said that you want to stay at the football club, and yet you don't know yourself if you're going to be there. What's that say? You know, what's it say? It's going to play in your mind. Of course it is. At some point, it's going to get to your pre-match mind, or whatever you want to call it, your game day thoughts or whatever. You know, is this the last time you'll be going to an away game against Brentford? Is it the last time you play at Anfield against United? Is it the last time? Is it the last time? And etc. You know, it's it's an interesting one for sure, and I think this game will be an intriguing one. I think Brentford will attack. They'll attack well. The 2 fullbacks for Liverpool, obviously Trent and Robbo, not been fantastic the last couple of games. Robinson and Trent both been poor, really, for their standards. It's just that Trent has that, you know, ability to unlock defences on the other side with his long sweeping balls in behind the defence. Whereas Robinson doesn't seem to have that. He gets caught short, and I think, you know, a lot of the time I think he gets a lot of slack for the defending of Liverpool. But also you do have to look at other names as well. You know, Van Dijk can't always be perfect. You know, Canate, when he's in, can't always be perfect. He's doing a lot of work covering Trent because Trent has to go forward, so far forward, and doesn't really bust the gut to get back either. you know, but it's going to be an intriguing one for sure. I think, to be honest, I'm expecting a draw. That's how I feel on it. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Brentford, you know, fair play to Brentford and Thomas Frank and all that this year. They're 11th place, 28 points. Of course, a win for them could lift them into the top 10. Um, they've done exceptionally well. They have. They had some good results, you know, this season. In moments, they've had good results in moments, you know, but they have been poor at times as well. So Brentford have been in a bit of a poor run of form themselves. You know, apart from that Southampton win the 5-0 and the point against Manchester City, they've not really done anything else other than that. Of course, they've beat Newcastle this year. I mean, that's what I say. They beat Newcastle. They've had a good result there. They've beaten, they've drew with Man City after being 2-0 down. So they're more than capable for sure. But it just depends what Liverpool turn up for me. If Liverpool turn up in the way they can turn up, 100%, then I'd fully expect a Liverpool win. If they turn up like they did in the first half against Nottingham Forest, Brentford have more than a chance. But it's going to be an intriguing one, and a big one, especially at the top. It's massive because Liverpool can't afford to lose. If they lose this, Arsenal win, it's level on points, and it's big trouble all of a sudden. So anything can happen. But yeah, let me know, guys, what you think is going to happen in the game, and I will see you soon. And don't forget to check out the Haaland and Manchester City video we posted. And if you're a Liverpool fan,